didn't even tell you, Charles.
Yeah, come up here. On the bed.
20 seconds left.
Up. Melly, up.
I'm not gonna make it.
Melly. Come up here.
6, 5, 4,
Tree.
3. Oh, I didn't make it.
Time's up. Oh no. I guess
Okay, but
we'll
now
have
that I
to...
know where I'm going, it
Now
will
we'll
be
have to take a finger. You failed your mission.
to go heal.
Oh, out of fingers I see. Well, we'll take a toe.
Hello and welcome to Derv, Derp and Friends Reviews. I'm Derp.
I am a ski nerd.
And in the background we have Batgirl playing some Genshin Impact, so you may hear some background noise.
Cussing.
Today we're reviewing The Boys Season 4, Episode 6, titled Dirty Business.
Okay. Sweet.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't. I never look at the titles or what they're called.
And to
Doesn't
start
matter to
off,
me.
it was a really messed up episode.
It was messed up, but it was great. I loved it.
As promised by reviewers and the director, it was pretty messed up.
Yeah, I'm just reading his notes, and he made a little more detailed notes than I did.
As I always do.
Oh, that's his name, Samir. Alright, so in this episode, it starts off with Butcher and Monkey, and they have Samir with them, and his leg is gone, and they basically want him to make the virus so they can kill Homelander. They just want one. And what else happens? I'm gonna read your notes.
It starts showing butchers start coughing up blood while they're torturing the doctor.
Oh, and then Butcher starts coughing, that's right. And he's not coughing up blood, but
Yeah,
he's coughing.
he does later. But
Yeah. And then we learn that Firecracker makes it to the news. She replaces the other guy who was outed as the traitor at Vought. So that was cool.
the submissive.
The submissive?
Because he was
That guy.
Ashley's submissive.
Yeah, that's right. The submissive guy. And then we learned that MM, they need information. There's a party happening, hosted by Tech Knight, and their plan is to another superhero. His name is Webweaver.
The boys' version of Spider-Man.
Yeah. And so MM goes there, and he's like, "Hey, if you're doing this, you need to give me the good shit." So basically, they give him Hypnol, but it has to be done by
Anally.
putting it in his butt. Yep. So MM, the OCD guy, who loves his Purell hand sanitizer, he is basically forced to put the Hypnol up Web Shooter's ass.
But first,
Or
he
Web
literally
Weaver.
puts it up his web shooter, which is right above his ass.
Yep, and then then he puts it in, and then Webweaver farts, and then some of the web gets on
MM's
face. And then Huey comes in. He's like, "Hey, do you need some Purell?" He's like, nodding. He's not even talking. Yes, give me the Purell. all the pure in the world will not cure me from this.
And a little before that, we also saw them spreading uh, Huey's dad's ashes
Oh yeah, they're going on a tour in New York.
and spreading his ashes
something.
all over the place.
Yep.
With Kimiko, Annie joining.
Yep. Let's see. Kimiko is upset about Frenchie turning himself in without telling her. Oh yes, she is. There's a whole thing about Kimiko wanting to visit Frenchie in the prison, and
She goes.
requested
Yep.
no visitors.
Yep.
So she's basically there as much as she can be, trying to visit Frenchie. Um,
Because she's mad at him.
yep. And then she goes back again and again and again and again, basically. We can talk about that one later if we want.
And then I did mention Firecracker taking over for Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
MM is trying to meditate.
Yep.
In his
over
room.
and over throughout the episode.
It's something about his closing his fist or something like that, I guess. Takes a while to learn how to meditate. I've done it before, but it takes a lot of practice.
We find out that MM finds out about the party from A-Train.
Because he's the leak.
Yep.
Oh, A-Train's the leak. Oh, watch out, Vought. You still got a leaker. Alright, so MM gets a call
and he
from A-Train.
tells him that Homelander's starting to try to make an army.
Yep. They murdered. A-Train's freaked out because they murdered the submissive guy. And he knows that Sage is like onto him, and they need to. He's worried. He's basically worried. He's scared. He's like, dude, I want out. It's like, nope, you can't get out. You want to do the right thing. You got to do this. And so, let's see. Also tells him about Homelander's army and talking to Tech Knight. Yep. Tech Knight is having a party. They use a suit named Webweaver to give in. So basically, their plan is that Hypnol it's the rape drug.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to Webweaver. He's out for 48 hours. So that allows them to put on Webweaver's suit. And the first thing Huey says is like, "Oh my God, his mask smells like ass." I wonder why. He's a very perverted person. And it's kind of funny seeing him in the suit, and he has to try to talk like him. He's just like, "Hey man, yeah." What did he say? I can't remember.
Also, throughout this whole episode, he's dealing with the grief.
Yeah, man.
Of his dad passing away last episode.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So
he goes through a lot of crap.
Yep.
To grieve.
He sees Veronica there, so he's
Victoria.
Victoria. Newland there.
Newman.
And he talks to her, but he has to try to do it in Webweaver's
WW's voice.
Yeah, the Webweaver's voice.
If you notice at one point, I started
really
just using abbreviations.
Yeah. And then he talks to Tech Knight, and Tech Knight's like, "Oh, hey, I'm so glad you came. You're ready to be my new
sidekick."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, yeah, sidekick. Oh, hey, let me take you to my tech cave." And not a lot of people are there. And then who's the lady again? Not Cameron. Ashley.
Comes in, and she was invited by Tech Knight.
Yep. And who was that? That was, I think it was Sage. Just like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
Something like that. And
no, Homelander.
No, I don't think it was Homelander. Maybe it was the Deep. Was it Deep?
The Deep wasn't even at the party.
Oh.
Because he's with Black Noir the whole time.
Oh, right. And who said that? Was it Maybe it was Firecracker. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Someone said it. Someone's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And can't remember their names. Uh, anyways, and there's a scene with the Deep and Black Noir, or the actor, and he's talking to the Deep. He's like, "Hey man, I don't want to do this anymore. This is dumb. I was promised like good, really cool acting skills, but I got booked some I got another gig somewhere in another city, so I think I'm gonna take it."
And
And
he also makes a big fuss about how messed up original Black Noir was.
yeah, so we got some Black Noir story, and how like when he went around like killing people, he would be hard. He was super horny. Go. I remember we went to this place. We killed like 12 people who were
Two dozen, he said.
oh yeah, 2 dozen, and they were talking about like water rights or some or whatever. It's just like yeah, that's fucking important. Anyways, um, he said that Black Noir killed 2 dozen of them, and he was rock hard for a week. Like he loves that killing man. And then the Deep is like, yeah, violence is power. We need to do this. It's awesome. It makes me feel great. I mean, I need to kill more so that I can get more rock hard. We know where the priorities are at. Like, they don't give a shit. They're just there to make money and look good and get their rocks off.
And
And then it goes back to Butcher,
yep.
Butcher and the monkey, and I wrote this down.
One other thing, Homelander is aware that Victoria freed Stan, Edgar. Like he hints at that he knows that she freed him.
Um,
Yeah, because he confronts her about
he
it.
does, but she was playing dumb about it. Like, oh, he escaped.
But he is aware.
Yeah, I think
That was the point.
he has a suspicion on her, but I don't know if he has, because it wasn't her that got out, that got him out. It was Butcher that got him out initially, but now he escaped again. Um, and so maybe that's where the suspicion is. I'm not sure, but anyways, he's out, and people are like worried. It's like, no, you don't have to worry about him. He's nothing. But anyway, so it goes back to Butcher, and then he starts hallucinating with his wife. And I wrote down, I was like, wait a minute, he's hallucinating with his wife. Does that mean Monkey is also hallucination? And we learn like 2 seconds later that like yeah.
No, that's the end of the
Oh,
episode where
at
we
the end.
learn it.
Anyways, that's what I wrote down. Oh, then it goes to cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cake.
It goes to the tech cave
He
where
sees the old.
it's basically a BDSM dungeon.
Yep, there's a bunch of dildos on the wall, bunch of like whips and weapons, and there's a man in a red like gimp
Latex suit,
latex gimp suit.
which we find out is his old sidekick, Ladio.
Yeah, and he doesn't like liars. That's why he's chained up. He doesn't like liars. Um, and yeah, so that sucks for him.
There,
So the cake, this amazing cake, which is Tectonite's favorite cake, is set on a uh, stool, and Huey has to take down his pants and
and
fart on it. He's like, fart on it.
while
He's like,
Tech Knight is getting a
okay.
hard on.
Yep, fart on it. Oh, that was so awesome. And then Ashley comes down, and she's like, hey, hello. Well, we're going to have some fun, aren't we? And he's like, oh, shit. Um, and so then he's strapped down to this, like, table
Yep.
that he can, cradle his arms and legs on. He's basically a saddle, I guess. But he's, like, laying flat on his stomach. And Ashley starts tickling him. and he starts saying stuff, or he's like, "Ah, that's too much. That's too much," and Tech Knight goes, "Oh, don't worry about that. If he wants you to stop, he'll use his safe word." She goes, "Oh, right. I'm gonna piss in your mouth." I ate a lot of asparagus too.
We told you it was a fucked up episode.
Yeah.
I own a
And so
egg one.
and so Huey's he yells out tarantula. They're like, what is that for? Oh, I like to yell out random words when I'm having a really good time. Oh, okay. So they continue.
And he says, spider web.
He says whatever. And then it cuts to Firecracker crying because there's like it was like Sage and Homelander and Victoria Newman. They're all having a conversation. She's like, "Oh, this party's boring. Hey, what's going on?" They're like, "This is a private conversation," and so she starts to feel like she's not part of anything, and so she starts to cry. And then that's when Starlight shows up,
Yep.
and she's like, "Oh, hello, yeah, I'm hey Firecracker, how's it going? Blah blah blah." And she starts to apologize, and as she's apologized, she's like, "I'm so sorry," and and Starlight stabs Firecracker, and that whatever drug is in there knocks her out, and so they can infiltrate better. And then we get to a scene where Kimiko and um,
MM.
MM,
Run into Sister Sage.
yep, we don't know what she's doing in the room, but she's just in the room, and they're like, "Oh, don't go for the security camera thing," and she's trying to use her psychological talking, like, "Hey, how's your wife gonna feel about this? How's your wife?" Trying to get him all pissed off.
How's your daughter?
Yeah. Oh yeah, your daughter.
Or what's your daughter gonna think about this?
Yeah. So she's basically saying, "I'm spying on your kin and your wife." Um, and then Kimiko's looking for the book that she has to pull,
To
and she's like
really?
one book away, and then she notices that MM faints because he has a panic attack.
No, first MM shoots Sister Sage.
Oh yeah, that's right. True Sister Sage.
And then has a. To me, it looked more like a heart attack at first. Because he was
Yeah.
clutching at his chest.
I thought it was heart attack too, but the doctor afterwards said it was a panic attack. But anyway, so he falls on the floor. Oh yeah, Sage shot. And then A Train comes in, and A Train's trying to communicate by using the titles of books to
No,
A Train.
Kimiko's trying to.
Oh yeah, Kimiko's talking to A Train,
By the
and
title of the books.
she's like, "Yeah, you need to take him to the hospital. Like, just do it."
It's for his family.
Yeah, yeah, for his daughter, to save his daughter or something like that. And so A Train delivers him, and he sees like this little boy, and he looks at him, and the little boy's like looking up in awe, like, "Oh my God, it's a hero!" And he just like gives him a nod, and you can tell he has a connection with this kid now. And then he like runs back to the party and stuff like that. So that was cool. That was a cool moment. And then, oh yeah, because Sage got shot, Homelander has to give a speech to all these like rich fucks.
With a lobotomized Sister Sage.
Yeah, and she's just like, "I could go for a Crunch Wrap Supreme right now." And she's like, has this brain damage or whatever, and she's just like eating cake. She's like,
The
this
same cake that Huey had to fart on, I believe.
It was the same style of cake. There was multiple cakes. So
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same one.
No, it wasn't the same because this one was intact and she just started eating it. They had many cakes. So, but it would be funny if that happened. It's like, "Oh, here's your squish cake that has an ass shape in it." Anyways, so Homelander starts giving a speech about how he's gonna like make this army of superheroes, and he wants to be in charge, and he needs the backing of these rich fucks to do it. And looks at Sage. He's like, yeah, she's the kind of the expert on it. And then Victoria comes in and saves the day. No, I'm the expert on this. And so she gives like a big. She's on her knees, opening her mouth to these guys and saying, "Oh, you guys are billionaires. You've already made it. We have a democracy, but it's not really democracy. These people are stupid, and you guys actually run everything, and you guys should run everything because you're all billionaires. Like you're smart. You made it." They're all like, "Oh yes, oh, I feel good about myself now. Oh yes." and they like the speech, and they're totally on board with this plan of the these superheroes like just starting to kill people and be bullies and basically fascist stuff. Um, and then it cuts back to Tech Knight torture. Um, so uh, Tech Knight has his power is he can sense things.
He has heightened, super heightened, all five senses.
Okay.
That's how
So
they explained it.
he's getting
touch, smell, sight,
he's
hearing.
like, oh, Huey or
Taste.
Webweaver, why are you so agitated? Because he can sense the heartbeat as it's going, and he figures that it's not Webweaver, it's someone else.
That comes later, because Tech Knight literally says, "I've you don't have enough holes, so I'm gonna make it more to fuck."
Yeah, that's right. Well, he finds him out first.
No, he does that after. He finds out after he straps him and is about to stab him. He finds out after. Yeah.
No, because he's torturing him.
No,
he makes another hole when he finds out.
No, that's no. He planned to do that before he found out.
Oh. Wait. I know he talks about prisons.
No,
that's later.
Yeah, that's later.
Okay, Huey goes to Adrian to help, more torture. Annie and Kimiko save Huey from getting new holes. Okay.
Yeah, that he finds out like when he's about to stab him.
I thought he found out before,
No.
like he was like on the thing, and
No,
then
he started assuming then, but he didn't know for sure until
and then
he was
like,
about
oh,
to be
whoa,
stabbed.
and then he takes off his mask, and he's like, oh, well, let me get prepared to do this, and then he's about to get stabbed, and then he gets rescued by Starlight and Kimiko. And yep, Stacy's kid. All right. Homelander encounters, and then I think he's talking to Ashley because he's talking about prisons.
Yep. Turns out that Homelander wanted Tech Knight apart so he could make internment camps for humans.
Yeah, that's right. Because he talked about he owns private prisons at the beginning. It's a fair super awkward conversation. He's a super awkward conversation because A-Train is there just making jokes about slavery in front of A-Train, like, haha, you would have been fast, but we would have eventually caught you.
Yeah,
we moved on from slave catchers to private prisons. Yeah. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude?
And he catches criminals to set them free just to catch them again.
Yeah, it's called private prisons. It's not what we want. It's called fascism. Anyways.
Or internment camps.
Yep, so they find out that those prisons are going to be used for internment camps.
For humans.
And then they're like, how are we going to torture Tech Knight? And Someone who was stabbing
His
him, was it
butler.
Kimiko?
His butler.
No, this was before. I think it was like Kimiko that was stabbing him or something like that. And he's like, oh, and then he was like, how do you torture a masochist? And then that's when
The butler comes in.
no, that's when the former sidekick, he breaks the chain, and they all look at him like, what the fuck is happening? And he's like, oh. He can't speak because his mouth is closed, is sewn up or whatever, or zippered up or whatever. And he's like, he goes to the computer and he shows them his bank accounts, and he's like, what should we donate to? Elizabeth Warren, $40 million.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives are
just a bunch of charities.
Just a bunch of charities. Black Lives Matter. He's like, no, that's the worst one. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't donate to them. And then that's when they learned about the internment camps. So that was like, oh, okay, yeah. How do you torture masochists? Yeah, he has billions of dollars or whatever. You can afford to give some to charity. And so then they torture him, and then the butler comes out, and they're like, "Oh shit, are you the butler?" He's like, "This motherfucker has been, I've been serving this motherfucker for so many years. We're gonna fucking kill him right now. Like, I don't want him to be alive." And then it cuts to Homelander in his room, and he's just like, "Man, this is great." And then Firecracker comes up to him, and she's like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to serve you. And she starts like taking off her clothes, and he's like, no, I'm not attracted to you sexually in any way. He's just like, oh, this ain't sexual, honey.
She squirts breast milk into his face.
Yes. It takes a lot of long thought out medications to get to this point. And he's like, wait, you did this for me? He's like, I will do. And she's like, I will do anything for you. And
she becomes his new mommy.
Yep, she's the new mommy. And now she feels wanted. She feels appreciated after doing this. And then we learn that Huey misses his dad, and he starts crying. And at the end of the episode,
we find out Web Weaver's safe word was Zendaya.
Yeah. Of course. Zendaya. Yep, MM had a panic attack.
We find out Mother's Milk's name is actually Milk. Because the doctor wouldn't have called him by a nickname.
Oh, I didn't.
She said Mr. Milk. We find out his name is actually Milk.
Oh, okay.
Because I figured that was just a nickname.
Yeah, well, he just worked for the CIA, so.
But doctors wouldn't call him by a nickname.
Yeah.
It'd be under what?
Mr. Milk. Still MM.
But you.
Yeah.
So we find out his last name at least is Milk.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, and then Kimiko tries to see Frenchie, like, again for like the billionth time, and then the nurse is like, it's like he doesn't want to see anyone, and then she writes on a piece of paper, I have nowhere else to go, and that kind of gets to the nurse, so we don't know if she's gonna like open it up to.
I assume that'll probably be next. We'll probably see more of the Russian mafia next week. Yeah. I'm hoping.
And then Huey was like talking about that. Yeah, he turned himself. In something about the murders with the Russian mob. I think who was he talking to? Was that his mom he was talking to? Yeah, he was talking to his mom, and she's like, "Who the hell are you hanging out with?" he killed some people, whatever. So that was good. FC, who's FC?
Firecracker.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the breast milk. Smear. Yep. Then it cuts to Butcher again, and they're what's his name? Monkey they're trying to convince him to make this fire. So like, dude, you need to make this fire. So otherwise, maybe we should break your leg or whatever.
It's revealed that the only way to create a strong enough virus to kill Homelander would make it a epidemic that would kill every single suit.
it would be an airborne. It would turn into an airborne virus and kill everyone.
Or all the soups,
And
not humans.
Monkey's like, hey, that doesn't sound too bad. And then Butcher's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Only because his wife hallucination is there to say it's gonna kill, millions of people. Blah blah blah.
Annie, Kimiko.
Yeah, all a bunch of your friends, and then Samir's wife, Victoria, and their daughter. So she would die too. Um, and so he like basically flat out refuses to do it, and then he's talking to both his wife hallucination and Monkey.
And then the two of them start conversing.
He's like, "Why don't you shut up, bitch?" And he's like, "Wait a minute, you can see her?" And then we see like Samir looking at Butcher, talking to no one.
It is revealed that, as theorized, Monkey is the tumor, the souped up tumor of Butcher's head. And he is the one that killed Ezekiel.
Yep, he was the one that when he blacked out, he was able to kill him, and that was Monkey.
And basically it was...
And he had the Negan smile.
Becca...
And the Negan-ness that we all miss.
Becca is the good angel side, and Monkey is the devil side. Because they even had Becca on the left side, Monkey on the right.
Oh, yeah.
Over his shoulders, like the good side and the bad side.
Only 500 meters away. Let's
go.
Go.
That was the last... That's how it ended, was that revelation.
Yep, and it just ends with, like, just...
Panning out to
him realizing this. And we get the Negan smile, which is awesome. So, yeah, there was a lot of lore. That's the word I was looking for today. There's a lot of lore that was revealed, and it was really cool. We got Firecracker lore, we got Noir lore, we got Ashley and Teknite lore. That was pretty sweet. We got Frenchie, no, not Frenchie lore. Who else? Oh,
Mother's Milk.
Mother's Milk lore, yeah. You got that. And it was all, I liked it. It was a really fun episode.
We were promised a fucked up episode, and it delivered.
Yeah, it was really messed up. Especially Huey. It messed him up. I don't blame him. I don't want to get tickled and be pissed in my mouth.
And also, woman's cum.
Oh, yeah. He's like...
splashed all over his face.
He's like, oh, man, my underwear is so crunchy, man. Like, it's... what is he? Not crunchy. His underwear were so crackly or something like that. I don't know. He's basically saying he came a lot in his pants. Or whatever. But it's all, like, messed up and shit. But I think the best part, the best part, the number one part was the former sidekick escaping. That was my favorite part out of the whole thing. Like, fuck Butcher's story, fuck MM's story, fuck Starlight and Firecracker story, fuck Homelander story, fuck all that. No, they should have a spin-off of just this sidekick escaping and just him, like, getting revenge on all the people who fucked him. Like, he's like, you know how long I've spent? And we don't know how long he spent in there. It's probably months, you know. Just being tied up, which is a horrible thing. It's fascinating to watch, but it's a horrible thing. It's like the Nazis, you know. It's fascinating to learn about the Nazis, but it's also, at the same time, it's also fucked up. What, did you fail?
It died right there.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it was good. I can't wait till next week. So we got 2 more?
Yep, 2 more
episodes. And we will do that next week. Next week we will also be starting
We'll be on
Dresden Files.
We'll be we'll be back to Thursdays next week though. For the boys.
Yeah. This is a weird day.
Because yesterday was a
Second.
holiday.
Yep. I think that's it. Alright, cool. That was fun.
Like, subscribe, comment, stuff we should watch. We're
Yeah.
starting Dresden next week on Tuesday or Wednesday. We haven't decided.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in
And,
place anymore.
And Tokyo Revengers after that.
Yep. Alright, cool. I'm Ski Nerd, and that is...
Derp. And
Cool.
behind the scenes is Batgirl.
Alright, cool. Alright, cool. See ya. We need an outro. We need an outro. We need an outro. Where's our outro? We don't have one. 'Cause we're lazy, or maybe we're just in development. It's still recording, so I'm gonna keep singing in this horrible voice.
This is one of the few times I actually remembered to put the outro in before I hit end.
Yeah, they can still hear this. I don't know why you haven't stopped it yet. Well, Booger Nugget, ass cake,
Zendaya.
Zendaya,
Butt crunchy.
butt crunchy munchy,
Mother's milk.